holding in Tractate Baba Metzia, the Yaakov for today speaks about Rabbi Elazar's agony and vindication. At this point, this is from Tractate Baba Metzia 84b. At this point, the Gemara returns to the story of Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon, whose judgment proved to be correct, even in a doubtful case. In spite of that, Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon still did not feel totally secure, worrying that perhaps he had made a mistake once and arrested an innocent person. And so he inflicted suffering on himself. At night, they would spread 60 sheets for him, and in the morning, they would remove 60 buckets of blood from under him.
Why?
Every morning, his wife would prepare for him 60 different types of fig pudding. After he ate them, he felt better. His wife did not allow him to go to the Beit Midrash, to the house of learning, so that he would not be taunted by the other scholars. At night, Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon said to his afflictions, that's how he used to call his afflictions. He had a name for it. He used to talk to his afflictions. He says, my brothers and good friends, come to me. In the morning he would tell them, please go away, because you will prevent me from learning Torah. When his wife heard, she heard him speaking to his afflictions. When his wife heard him say this one day, she cried out, you yourself are bringing these afflictions on you. You are wasting my father's money with the special care and food that is now is required. So she left him and went to her father's house. Meanwhile, a storm had blown up at sea, and boat coming from Rabbi Elazar's town was in danger of sinking. A boat coming from Rabbi Elazar's town was in danger of sinking. The sailors began praying and finally cried out in desperation, save us, O God, for the sake of Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon. They mentioned his name in their trouble. They are in trouble in sea. Right. But that was the rabbi. So they said, O God, save us in the merit of Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon. So the storm subsided, quieted down, and when the ship safely sailed into port, 60 sailors presented Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon with 60 slaves, each bearing 60 purses of money, and they made for him the 60 different types of fig puddings that he ate. So right away God created a situation where these sailors bought everything that his wife was not doing anymore. Now, one day his wife said to her daughter, go and see how your father is feeling. Now she's curious to see how he's handling without her, right? She thought that he's completely dependent on her.
Yeah, why not?
You mean that's with the money. Once we had the money, she sent in the daughter?
No, she didn't know. She didn't know his situation was changed. Yeah. She thought, she left him.
He's all alone.
She went to her house. He's all alone.
She didn't know about it.
She didn't know about the whole thing. So one day his wife said to her daughter, go and see how your father is feeling. So she went, and Rabbi Elazar said to her, tell your mother that we are wealthier than her parents, because she was claiming you're wasting my parents' money. So go tell her that I have more money than your parents. And he applied to himself the verse, she, the Torah, is like a merchant's sheep. From afar she brings her sustenance. Meaning, the sailors who were saved in the merit of his great Torah scholarship had brought him wealth. He ate the fig pudding, drank, and became better. Since his wife was not there to stop him, he went to the Beit Midrash. He made it to the house of learning, where he asked questions by 60. He was asked questions by 60 women about different types of blood discharge they had experienced, and he declared them all clean. And told them they needed no immersion in the mikveh, meaning they were all pure. It's not your period, it's not a discharge. You can go, maybe it's sometimes a staining from a different source. If it's not from the uterus, there's different laws, it's complicated laws. But he declared them pure. Sure, you heard about the laws of family purity. Family purity. So, if it's not real blood, then if it's not coming from the uterus, it's not considered. It's not causing her to be impure, not rendering the woman impure. So he declared all of them clean, and he said you don't even have to immerse yourself. So the rabbis grumbled about this; they weren't comfortable with his rulings, saying, "Is it possible that out of 60 cases, there was not at least one about which there was some doubt?" He retorted, "If I'm right, all these women will give birth to boys."
Wow.
They don't have to go to mikvah, meaning that they can be intimate with their husbands, and they will all conceive and they will all give birth to boys, if I'm correct. If not, let there be at least one girl among them. 59 boys, one girl, I'm wrong.
Whoa.
60 boys, I'm right.
Wow.
All the children born were boys, and they were named Rabbi Elazar after him. 60 kids were called Rabbi Elazar. So we learned in a Braita, seeing how thoroughly grounded Rabbi Elazar ben Rabbi Shimon was in laws of clean and unclean blood discharges. The Rebbe said, how many children did this evil Roman government prevent from being born if they had not put him in charge of arresting thieves? The whole situation was that they put him in charge of arresting thieves, because he gave them a trick how to find the thieves. If they're in a restaurant in the middle of the day drinking wine, so they probably didn't sleep at night. There's a whole situation. They explained to them how to catch the thieves. So they said, you know what, you can do it better than us. So they appointed him to be in charge. If he was in charge of arresting thieves, now he didn't have time to go to the house of learning. If he wasn't there, no women came to ask him questions. So if they didn't ask him questions, they asked other rabbis who were not as proficient as him, and therefore some rabbis said, no, you're not pure, and therefore you cannot be with your husband for now a week or 2 weeks, and prevented many children from being born. So if they had not put him in charge of arresting thieves, he would have been available for consultation, and with his extensive knowledge would have permitted many women to their husbands. So we see the power of heter, the power of ruling permissible is much more difficult, because you're taking responsibility on yourself. And it says odif, it's a preferable thing to do, but not everyone is capable of doing it. You have to sometimes be a very scholarly man to rule. To say it's prohibited, everyone can say. Don't do it. It's much easier. But when you say it's permissible, you're taking upon yourself the responsibility. So Rabbi Elazar was such a person that can declare 60 women. He tells them, you're all clear, you're all pure. You don't even have to go to the mikvah.
60.
Bruchim tiyu.
Wow.